We were at Kansas. I was actually it was right after a pit stop sequence. So we were having a restart and we had an issue on the pit stop. So we got relegated to the back of the field because of the issue we had on our pit stop. So I was towards the back of the field, about mid-pack of the field, going into turn one after the first lap of the restart. Joey Logano blew a right front brake rotor. Mm-hmm. And so his car shot to the right and it collected Danica Patrick's car. The two of them shot into the fence hard. And when they hit the fence...
How fast are they going at Kansas?
So that year with the rules package that we had, we were about 195 mile an hour getting in turn one. So at that time in 2017, we had full horsepower. The engines were completely unrestricted, and we had high downforce. So that means we were cornering super fast, and we were going fast down the straightaway because of the horsepower. So we were about 195 mile an hour getting into turn one, and got into turn one there. They wrecked, and the angle and the way that they wrecked, the front of their cars both smashed into the wall. And when
he turned her, right?
Yeah, and when it did, it dumped all the fluid out of the radiator and the oil cooler. So there's oil and water all over the top groove of the racetrack,
which you were on.
So I went into turn one, and when you're running 195 mile an hour, when you are halfway down the straightaway, you are already picking out where you're going to go because you're moving at a football field a second, right? And so you're picking out way far out in advance what direction you're going to go on the racetrack.
A football field a second.
Yeah.
That's such a...
So going to turn one, I'm committed to go run the top, and especially because I restarted in the back. I want to get to the top and try and pass some of the cars in the back of the field on this restart. So I commit to the top lane. They wreck. I'm already committed to the top lane going 195 miles an hour. I hit the brakes. When I hit the brakes, I don't slow down at all because I'm in oil and water. And so I honestly feel like I pick up speed. You ever been going on ice? Like you grew up up north. So
you hit the brakes and you start going faster.
Going faster.
Yeah.
It's like that's what happened right there.
No
steering, no control, no nothing.
How long? Like was it like 1,000 or like?
It was more like 1,000.
So you had a while.
Oh yeah, I saw it coming. Like it was gonna be bad, and so I hit the brakes. Nothing's happening. I'm not steering, and so
were they were essentially dead stop or like
close to it. They were still traveling a little bit down the racetrack.
The energy was still coming at them.
Oh yeah. And so I remember being on the brakes and nothing happening. And with our cars, in any car, even in a passenger car, sometimes when that happens, you can actually throttle up and like make your car start to spin or start to turn.
Yeah.
So I wasn't slowing down and I knew I was going to wreck anyway. So instinctually, I throttled up. To try and like get my car to rotate and turn.
It's like the sand dude.
Yeah, and it didn't do that either. So I throttled up and drove into the wreck at 170 miles an hour.
Is that the hardest hit you ever?
It hurt so bad. And so when I hit my car kind of, the front end stopped. When I hit those two cars, my front end stopped in the back from the momentum of the hit. The back of the car went up in the air. And when the back of the car went up in the air, the rear springs actually fell out of the spring buckets. And so when the car came smashing back down,
it was just straight.
It was just solid on the frame. So all the energy was not absorbed by the suspension. It was absorbed through my spine. And so I compressed the T5 vertebrae between my shoulder blades. It's your thoracic spine. The fifth vertebrae, the T5, I collapsed it like a Coke can. So imagine you take a soda can and you just smash it down. That's what my vertebrae did. It just smashed down. And it hurt immediately. It felt like somebody shoved a hot knife in my back. The pain was sharp.
The initial hit.
Yeah, the pain was super sharp. Very, very pointed, and it felt like it felt like my back was on fire, and which there was a lot of fire around, so I thought that I might have been on fire. So I was trying to like hurry to get out of the car.
Most people don't have that problem, by the
Yeah.
way. Just what am I on fire, or is
Right.
my back just on
Yeah.
fire?
So I moved around to try and like hurry to get out of the car because I thought I was on fire, and I realized that I wasn't gonna get out. Like if I had to get out in that moment, I think I might have been able to muster up, like adrenaline wise, I might have been able to get out, but I had pulled the fire extinguisher pin and I looked around, realized I wasn't on fire, and everything in my body just tingled, and I was just in severe pain. So they ended up cutting me out of the car, getting me out, and then I rode a helicopter over to Kansas University Medical Center, got diagnosed with a broken back, basically.
And at how old were you? 34 or something?
Yeah, so it's 2017. So yeah, 34, 33.
How long was like?
7 weeks. I was out of a race car for 7 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a really, really intense rehab protocol, and
Were you scared when the first time you were back in the car?
not at all.
Really?
Yep, not at all.
That's wild. I've noticed, like, your back is very straight now. Like,
Yeah, it's conscious effort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
'cause-
tell. I mean, you have great posture, but like I've been slipping
Yeah.
and sliding throughout this interview.
It's a conscious effort. I sat like this for years, and because of that rounded spine, that actually contributed a lot to it. So when my spine did collapse, it collapsed like a soda can, like I told you, but more in the front of the vertebrae.
Mhm.
So it made it kind of wedge shaped. So it's actually promoting me to be more rounded. So the only way for me to get my posture back was for it to be a conscious effort.
Yeah.
Get all the muscles and everything to get my posture right, because my spine naturally wants to curl forward even more than it used to.
Just another thing to think about in your driving
Yeah.
and flying and traveling.
Yeah, so
and-
when I'm old and have way more gray hair, yeah, I'll be able to tell you when it's going to rain.